all judgmental, critical thoughts. He accepts you fully. That means that the Buddha is not looking you to find faults in you, or to find if you have done something wrong, or if you are better than others or worse. Just looking with compassion and taking you as you are, just accepting you fully as you are. His eyes are long, narrow, and fine. His gaze is very peaceful. His eyes are half closed and half open. The fact that the eyes are half closed means that the Buddha is at any time perceiving emptiness of all phenomena. And the fact that the eyes are half open means that the Buddha at any time, at the same time that he perceives emptiness of all phenomena, he perceives all sentient beings and all conventional phenomena. His lips are red, signifying that he reveals the Dharma to others out of compassion. His hair is blue-black. Each hair individually curls to the right. On the crown of his head is a crown pinnacle. The palm of his right hand rests on his right knee, the middle finger touching the moon cushion, symbolizing his great control over the Mara of Devas from the Mara of desire. His left hand rests in his lap in the mudra of meditation, symbolizing that he has overcome the Mara of disturbing attitudes. In his left hand, he is holding a bowl filled with nectar, signifying that he has overcome the Mara of the samsaric agreement. His body in the Vajra posture, signifying that he has destroyed the Mara of the Lord of Death. Thus, he has destroyed death. So each one of the gestures of the Buddha symbolizes that he has destroyed what is called the four maras. To destroy the four maras means to achieve enlightenment. And this, I think now it will be very it will take very long time to explain each one. Anyway, the four maras are one. The mara is called the son of the gods, or the mara of the desire. Then there is the mara of the aggregates, and then there is the mara of death, and then there is the mara of the delusions. Just to mention them. And each feature of his body, of his holy body, represents an aspect of his omniscient mind and so forth. His inner attainments. Each feature also demonstrates the causes, that is, the merit that has collected in the past. No matter how much one looks at Sakyamuni Buddha, one never feels satiated. This is very important. When we do this meditation, it's good to try to make the visualization, and don't worry about making all the details clear. Just to have the feeling that the image of Buddha is there, and to look at it, it makes you peaceful and happy. It's like something, the most beautiful thing, that just to think about it, just to look at his body, it makes you really feel your body completely relaxed and peaceful and happy, and your mind full of joy, and happiness. The supreme refuge, Sakyamuni Buddha, encompasses the Guru, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. From his holy body, beams are emitted in all 10 directions. Numberless manifestations of Sakyamuni Buddha are carried on each beam to ripen infinite sentiments. Looking at me with compassionate eyes, Sakyamuni Buddha says, son or daughter of the lineage, if you want to be liberated from the suffering of samsara, I will guide you. He happily promises this and frees me from the breathless state. So now maybe we spend a couple of minutes trying to do this visualization. Don't worry if you forget some of the points we talked here. If you can remember some, you just focus on this. If you forget, don't worry, just try to visualize them. image of Buddha in front and think that just to think about the image of Buddha and to look at him, it makes you very peaceful. Then at the same time, we should visualize that all sentient beings are around us, and they all have the same, this pure vision of Buddha, and they receive also the same benefits. And this actually, if we actually do this practice, since the Buddha is there, even if we don't see the Buddha and all the enlightened beings are constantly sending the blessings to us. So this is a way of opening our mind to receive these blessings. So now just for a couple of minutes, we try to visualize, try to keep the attention of our mind in this image of Buddha in front of us. We think it's beautiful, and he looks at us with compassion, and he is, as it says here, if you really want to practice Dharma, I will guide you. I'm here to guide you and to lead you to alignment. So just now for a couple of minutes we try to do this meditation. Our mind just focus in this, and thinking that all sentient beings are around us, and that all sentient beings, they do the same practice with us. And then keeping the attention on the Buddha, we do first the practice of refuge. So we think that we are reciting the prayer of refuge, and all sentient beings, they are also reciting the prayer of refuge with us. To the Guru, I go for refuge. To the Buddha, I go for refuge. To the Dharma, I go for refuge. To the Sangha, I go for refuge. To the Guru, I go for refuge. To the Buddha, I go for refuge. To the Dharma, I go for refuge. To the Sangha, I go for refuge. To the Guru, I go for refuge. To the Buddha, I go for refuge. To the Dharma, I go for refuge. To the Sangha, I go for refuge. And after the recitation, we visualize that nectar flows down from the body of Buddha and enters into your own body and mind, and into the body and mind of every sentient being. Next comes the bodhicitta meditation. So we try to keep during the whole meditation the mind focused in the image of Buddha in front of us, and thinking that all sentient beings are just close next to us doing the same practice. Then we think, I have been suffering in samsara during beginningless time. So too have all kind of other sentient beings who are so precious. They are the source of all my past, present, and future happiness, and have been kind to me again and again from beginningless time. It is my turn to carry the responsibility of liberating all these pitiful mothers. However, in my present state, forget about liberating others. I'm not even sure what I can do about my own life. Even if I were to achieve the state of Anahat, the work for myself would still not be complete. and the work for others would be limited. Therefore, in order to complete the work for myself and others, I definitely need to achieve full enlightenment, the state of Buddhahood. If I achieve this sublime state of Buddhahood, I will have ceased all the numberless mistakes and completed all qualities. And I shall then be able to work effortlessly for all the Kaimada migratory beings who fill all of space. Therefore, I must achieve full enlightenment quickly. I am going to follow the brave, extensive, wonderful deeds of the Bodhisattva in order to benefit others. And then now, next we do the 7 limb prayer. Also, we try to keep our mind focused in the Buddha, and we think that we are doing all these points, first doing prostrations, confessing all the faults, rejoicing in the virtues, etc. We are doing all in front of Buddha. So the first line is, reverently I prostrate with my body, speech and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, actually offered mentally transformed. I confess all my negative actions accumulated during beginningless time, and rejoice in the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until samsara ends, and turn the wheel of Dharma for the sentient beings. Now next comes the mandala offering. We will do I will read just the short mandala offering. And at this point, we imagine that we are offering to the Buddha in front of us the whole universe with all the precious things we can imagine. Imagine all the beautiful things that enjoy the human beings and the gods, like beautiful palaces, beautiful gardens, beautiful food, clothes, precious jewels. We think the whole universe, we can imagine that we are holding in our hand the whole universe and offering to the Buddha. And in the universe, we think is filled with all the precious things, and all the sentient beings are enjoying all this. So it says the mandala offering. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. Now we'll do briefly because now we will do since it's already done. We will do in the page 14 the request to descend to the crown. Glorious and precious root Guru, please abide on the lotus and moon seat on my crown, and taking care of me with your great kindness, bestow upon me the attainments of your holy body, speech and mind. So now we imagine the Buddha we have been visualizing in front. After the request, it comes to our crown. You can imagine it becomes small, just maybe like the size of the Buddha Shakyamuni chair on top. We think that this image, it comes and stays on our crown, and now while we do the recitation of the mantra, we visualize, as it says here, as you recite the mantra of Shakyamuni Buddha, visualize that light and nectar beams, white in color, flow from Guru Shakyamuni Buddha's heart. This enters your body, speech and mind, and purify all diseases, spirit karmas, negative karmas and osculations. All negativities are washed out of you just as dirt leaves clothes when you wash them. So now while we recite the mantra, we visualize that Buddha is in the crown of our head, and it comes rays of light and nectar, white in color, and fills and washes completely our body. We think that enter to the crown and purifies us completely, and any kind of problem, sickness we can have, or any kind of disease or worries, or we can think all the negative actions we have created in the past, all the sufferings we are going to experience in the future. We think that this nectar completely washes it out, and our body becomes completely clean and pure. And at the same time, we imagine all the sentient beings around us, they are doing also the same while reciting the mantra. So now we recite the mantra for a few minutes. First, we can recite maybe together if you like a few times, and then afterwards we recite individually each one in silence. But during all this time, try to imagine that the Buddha is there, and as we recite the mantra, it's purifying completely ourselves and all sentient beings around. Tayata Om Muni Muni Mahamuni So. 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 Tayata Om. In the aspect of Sakyamuni Buddha, light beams are emitted towards all sentient beings in all directions. The negative karmas and obscurations of body, speech and mind of all sentient beings are completely purified, and every sentient being becomes Buddha. In this way, every being that appears to you appears as Buddha, and every place that appears to you appears as a pure place. Rejoice by thinking, how wonderful is that I have enlightened all sentient beings. Now we a short dedication prayer. Just as a result of my own merits of the 3 times and the merits of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas and sentient beings, may the altruistic wish to achieve enlightenment be generated in my mind and in the minds of all sentient beings without even a second's delay. And may the altruistic wish that has already been generated be increased. So now we stop here. Now I think there is a tea break, and then after the tea break we'll have some discussions. I'd like to. That will help you to develop these qualities of renunciation, of bodhicitta, and the mind of the realization of emptiness. So all is kind of symbolic, everything. It's a help to develop this. And the fact that now for you maybe it's a little bit difficult or complicated, it's just the lack of familiarity. But I don't see.
That's the little form, and there's some money in it, so, and I've wrapped it so that it's not going to. And I want to know, do we get receipts when we, like we took a journey last weekend, and I want to know what my 2,000 went for.
Yeah, normally, I don't know where did you offer, but normally if you ask for a puja, or you ask for
I didn't ask for anything. Everything was done without asking me. Then I was told that the puja was 9,000. Before that, I was told it was 7. What we gave out was 3. So what I'd like is some accountability for my money.
Yeah, I think, I don't know about this. If you ask Kedar Tawari or the one who organized, normally in the if you ask for a puja or you give a donation or whatever, they give you a receipt.
Yes.
They say that we have received that money
Maybe
from
I'm the right
this
person to discuss this with.
I need the receipts for everything, what I paid, what my 2,000 went for.
Absolutely.
Do I have that now? Pujas were there. 8,400 and 2 pujas.
That's right. And
religion to religion. Does it mean that the Helrams are specific to each religion? Or is there, for example, that you read out about the hot hells and the cold hells and the neighboring hells and so on with reference to Buddhism? Now, Islam refers to it as Jahannam, and they have their own way of looking at it, Shaitan and Jahannam. And Christianity looks at it differently, devil and so on. In Hinduism, we have Yolu Naragalu, seven hells, supposed to be getting worse stage after stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 levels. 7 is the worst. 1 is the least. So they are different realms. So actually, today's Deccan Herald, there is an article about the chief exorcist of the Vatican, one Father Gabriel Amos something named, and how they deal with the negative forces. So why does this description of the heavens are different? The different heavens are different, but the hells, why is the description so different from religion to religion? Are the hells specific to those religions? My interest is only in terms of exorcism and how to overcome these Mara vibrations and negative vibrations.
Yeah, I think actually I cannot say, I cannot answer your question just like this, because as I said before about the health, there are many descriptions, as you said, and we can't see them, and unless you have clairvoyance or this, it's very difficult. I can say that from the teachings of Buddha Sakyamuni and from the Buddhist text, they explain about these 8 different levels, and I think from my own side, there's no big contradiction. As you said, most of the other religions, they speak about different hells. They speak in a different, with some difference, but the fact, I see quite similar. And also from the Buddhist point of view, they say that all these hells are created by karma. So it depends, it can be so many different, thousands of different hells, because the karmas are very different. Here are mainly the kind of the main ones, or just a way of explaining this. But there can be so many other different hells. About the other religions, what they explain, I don't know myself. I cannot say they are the same, they have a particular, actually, you can say that the hell realms and any other realm, they are created by karma. So if a group of people create a common karma, similar, they will be born in a similar circumstances. And there can be thousands of different hell realms and thousands of different kind of reincarnations. So in this sense, I don't see very much difference. But from my side, I cannot say they are the same or they are not, or there are specific hell realms for Buddhists and specific hell realm for Christians. This I cannot say. I think the karma is same for all. For Buddhists, Christians, and non-believers, if you do some actions, you will experience the result of these actions. Yes.
Yes, the way I understood it before, at some point when it was taught to me also, is that there are states of mind that we can go through in any given time span, even an hour. We can go through these different realms.
Yeah. Actually, they say the hell realms, they are actually state of mind. They don't have the physical body like we have. Physical body made of matter. It's more a mental state. That they are in this kind of state, they feel they have, it's like a dream. When we dream, we maybe have a body bigger than this or smaller, but we have experiences of pain and pleasure. So the hell realms and all these realms are just states of mind, that the mind, when it gets separated from the body, it falls down in this kind of nightmare and stays there for very, very long time.
Well, the way it was explained to me was that they are like psychic realms, they are like astral realms, they are like relative realities, they are worlds, but they are also states of mind that we can be in our body.
Mm-hmm.
The mind can be in our body, like we can be going through that today.
Yeah, actually here in the text at the end it says that they are the occasional hells, and that refers to human being experiencing the pains of the hell in a human existence because of certain karma he has created. Even he has a body of a fortunate being, he experienced these very heavy sufferings within this state. And there are many descriptions of all kinds of experiences because of very concrete karmas. Especially in the Jataka tales about the previous lives of Buddha, that they used to talk very much about cause and effect and certain actions and the result of these actions. And in many of them, they explain about some people having during the night a very terrible, painful experience, and during the day having so much pleasures and living like a god, and just going like this for many years and for a very long time. And this is because it looks like a mixture of a god and a hell being. During the day it's like a god, and during the night it has the pain of a hell being. And this is because very specific karma. The main 8 different hells, and these points are kind of making a general group, or making the different type of suffering, making them in a general description. But then the individual karmas of each one, they are so great variety of experiences. And then about this, I think from my side, it's very difficult to know. We can speak about things we can see and we can touch and we can speak. But when the mind separates from the body, since we don't see, unless you develop clairvoyance and you can see this kind of experiences, that there are some people that they have this power, this ability. They see maybe the hungry ghosts, and they see the hell realms, or they see the gods, because they have this karma. And in general for us, since we don't have this, from my point to speak about this, I have no authority at all. I can speak about the teachings or what explained in the text, or my experience that is very short, very limited.
Have you heard of any group of people or tradition or independent Buddhas or Lamas in the Buddhist, Tibetan Buddhism and Tibetan traditions? Are you aware of anyone who is specially trained in dealing with these Mara vibrations, negative vibrations? Have you come across in your experience in contact with learning under the teachers and holy teachers and lamas? Have you heard it mentioned that there is any particular order of monks or any particular tradition which is mainly exorcist in content? That is, exorcism is getting rid of the Mara vibrations or the negative
Well,
vibrations.
actually, among the lamas, within every one of the four main traditions of Tibetan Buddhism, there are almost in most the monasteries, there are always some lamas that they do this kind of Buddhism. They help people who have very strong influences from negative forces like evil spirits and black magic and these things, and they do the practice of protection. This almost in every tradition. There are many lamas who do this kind of things. Like I know Lama Sopa Rinpoche, I know he has helped some people with very strong, very heavy problems of evil spirits, just making one completely crazy and just about dying. I know. And many other lamas, they do this. But there is no specific kind of separate order or tradition just dedicated to this. No, this actually the lamas and the teachers.
There's one practice, Choto.
Well, yeah, there's this practice that Keda mentions called the Chot, but this is different. Chot means the cutting, the practice of cutting. Actually, that's the word in Tibetan. But this is well, it's related with spirits, evil spirits, but it's more a meditation on emptiness, on the emptiness of the eye, and to cut. Actually, the meaning.
How do you spell it?
The word in Tibetan is C-H-O-D.
Oh.
And the translation of this word means cut, a practice of cutting. It means cutting the grasping to the self or the I. But this, I think, is different one. It's a practice that someone does in a solitary place, sometimes quite scary place like cemeteries or these things. And he meditates on love and compassion, he develops bodhicitta, and he visualizes that he offers his own body first to the Buddhas and then to all evil spirits. You know, the evil forces that they like to harm others or to take the blood and the flesh of human beings. He just invokes this kind of evil spirit and say, okay, I give you my body, please enjoy it, please have a nice time and eat whatever you want from the body. This is a way of meditation on emptiness. Just cut, the word of cut means to cut the grasping to the eye. You know, we have very strong grasping to the eye as something very precious, very important, and we all try to hold this eye. And this grasping is kind of the cause of so many troubles, because of this grasping at the eye, we create so many negative karmas. One way of cutting this is this kind of meditation. But this, I think, is different. This is not a puja to protect from the evil spirits.
I'm saying if you're suffering from this practice too, if you're suffering from
well,
in a way.
No, not necessarily, no. I think that for doing this practice you have to have so much courage, and
That's right.
it's not, if you are scared of evil spirits, it's better not to do this practice.
And just to kind of illustrate a point with regards to karma, there's a particular purification practice called Nyumne. That is, it's a fasting practice. You fast and you do some prayers, etc. And so there's an illustration given. If, for example, a lady is a prostitute or a man is a butcher. So butcher, he's killing animals during the day. But if he does the fasting retreat at night, then he collects the karma of that at that specific night period. Same way, lady, if she's a prostitute and she does that work at night, right? But if during the day she does the fasting ritual, then she collects the karma for that during the day. Now this, I think this example is good illustration for many of your points about karma and relationship of practice to karma.
Unique.
Yeah.
It's a practice done for 2 days, and during 2 days there are some vows taken in the early morning, and then during the practice you do 4 sessions with mantras and postrations. And the first day you eat lunch, and the second day you do fasting. Yes.
In general, I will add a small clarification. In general, I don't wish to do any harm to any living creature, including human beings. But in the presence of living in society, when you are in association with these ignorant people, if you teach or follow the truth and discipline, they cannot understand unless some force, verbally or some other means. How to overcome this?
Well, you mean from the part of the teacher, how to teach?
In general, living of the individual in the society. I think I did not catch it.
Maybe I didn't get the point.
I repeat, sir.
Yes.
I do not wish to do any harm
Yeah.
to human beings or any living creature or any animals, all that. That is, I am happy. When I am supposed to live in this society, in the association of these ignorant people, if I follow that discipline, I cannot maintain this discipline. And unless if I go some pressure on the other ignorant people, they cannot understand the rightness.
Yeah.
How to deal with
Yeah.
this situation.
I think this depends on your wisdom. Sometimes just to follow strictly one rule without wisdom, sometimes it doesn't work. Or even you have very good compassion and you want to help others, if you don't know the very best thing to help others, maybe it doesn't help. So to be able to develop this, to live within this environment, that is not easy at all, to keep a pure behavior and these things, and to be able to help others, one need from the first point, one need to be very sincere in the practice and very right in the, I don't know, try to follow very well your own discipline. But at the same time, try to develop the qualities to be able to help others to do this. And I think these qualities, they come only after a long time. When you really practice sincerely and you make a lot of prayers and you develop love and compassion, because of these conditions, because your pure practice, but because you develop very much kind of pure energy and merit, and because of your compassion of wishing to help others, slowly with the time it comes some kind of wisdom, understanding which is the best thing to help each one. But I think this is not easy at all. It comes only.
Because you come and you have to overcome through wisdom only.
Yeah, actually they say the bodhisattvas, they live in the society with all the delusion. They live like ordinary people and they behave like ordinary people. But because they have very strong compassion, because they have no attachment, they are not in society because they have desires and attachment. Because they are in society because they have a lot of very strong compassion to others. Because of this, they can help other people very much. With, I don't know, the means it can be very different, like teaching or whatever means. But this comes when one develops these qualities, the qualities of very strong compassion and purify one's mind and you develop very strong. I think normally these qualities of wisdom, of understanding how is the best way to benefit others, it takes a long time. You can see these qualities in the high masters and in the great lamas and teachers and gurus. But in the beginning, I think the best thing we can do is just to make prayers and to see, okay, I'm trying to do my best. You just develop good motivation, and if you are living in society and the society is corrupt and is full of faults, then you try to do your best to help others and to go with the right direction and help other people to go in the right direction. And you will see that you make many mistakes. We do make many mistakes. So you try to learn from your mistakes, try to do, if this doesn't work, then you try another one. But the main thing is to have a pure motivation, just to develop the wish. I'm sure if one meditates again and again in love and compassion, develops this wish of helping others, the rest comes. Like we said now, we visualize Buddha, Sakyamuni, and comes light. So if your mind is very pure, you will receive this inspiration and you will understand what is the best thing to do to help others. Because there are so many holy beings that they are just helping you, trying to help. Actually, this way is, like Buddha and other holy beings, their only work is to benefit sentient beings. And the only way that they can do this work is through the people who try to practice, through us. When we try to do practice, we ask the blessing of Buddha and try to benefit others. So if your mind is sincere in this way, you will receive this inspiration and this wisdom from the Buddhas, and you will find a way of helping others. But to be able to do this, we have to purify our mind, because our mind, even as we said now, we try to develop bodhicitta, is not really sincere. In reality, we have very strong selfish attitude, and we have very strong delusions. And because of this, we don't find the right way of helping others. But the fact that we are sitting, we are here, we are trying to do meditation, is a way of purifying our mind from these delusions. And it's a way of opening our mind to receive the blessing from the Buddhas. And it's just a practice. It's a long way that we have to just practice every day, put interest and effort. And slowly, these qualities of having wisdom and understanding the best way of helping others, they come as a result in the future. But still, I think even now we can do many things for others, sure. And even our society is full of desire, confusion, and these things. Just living in the society and trying to be honest and sincere and truthful, we can do so much help to other people, so much. And this is already something we can be joyful, we can rejoice and feel happy about this. And as you said, if you have just this idea of trying not to harm anyone, to wish happiness to all, that's already wonderful, wonderful. And try to help other people to develop this already, I think this is really wonderful. Try to work in this.
Just supplementing to this, just I have some other clarification. This compassion we throw on other persons, sometimes that leads to some attachment. For example, a stray patient in an hospital, just I put an example. I do some best, whatever way I can. But when I return back to my house, I think about him, what happened to him, what happens tomorrow or now. Is it that is not the attachment?
Well, actually,
It
for us,
if I continue, I mean, if we extend that compassion, I cannot show the equal opportunity to other person also. I feel that sometimes or many times this compassion and love leads to some attachment.
Yeah, you are true. Normally when we try to practice, since the attachment in our mind and all the other delusions are very strong. They are mixed. Our compassion is mixed with attachment. So sometimes it's not really completely pure. But the fact that you can see it whenever you just recognize that your practice is mixed with attachment, then you can try to avoid it. Actually, the fact that you recognize this is already a progress. It's already something good. Because normally, most of the people, we don't recognize our faults. We just praise ourselves and we think we do everything very well. But when we sit to meditate and watch our mind and see that even the virtuous practice we do is mixed with attachment, desires, with jealousy, and all kind of worldly emotions, then the fact that you recognize this is already a progress. Because first you have to recognize this. Once you see, then you can correct that. You can try to avoid, you can try to be more sincere. You can just recognize to yourself, okay, I'm helping this person, but I see that there's some attachment or there's some expectation from my side. I hope, I want that this person gives me back something. So there is some selfish attitude in this help. It's not a purely altruistic. So from the moment you recognize this, then you try to correct. You can tell to yourself, okay, you are not completely pure. This action is not completely pure because you are expecting some benefit, to get some benefit from this. And then at this moment you can just avoid this. I think the practice of Dharma is a way of knowing yourself, knowing your mind inside, and improving just slowly with the daily work and the daily practice. Whenever you see faults within your mind, try to correct them. Actually, the whole practice of Dharma is just looking at the inside and develop the good qualities that we all have. Big or small, but we all have a little bit love and compassion, generosity, patience. We all have a little bit. So to develop this and to recognize also the faults that we have in our mind, the desire, anxiety, jealousy, ignorance. And when we recognize this, we try to avoid this, to apply the practice to eliminate, to clean our mind. The whole practice of Dharma meditation is improving your mind inside. It's a work from inside. And if you really do this work inside, you can change the world around you, because your friends, your enemies will become your friends, and you will be able to help others. If you have peace within yourself and body, you will be able to help others, to give this peace to others, and to give love. But if we are confused inside ourselves, it doesn't matter how much we try to help others, we can give only confusion to others. So this work inside ourselves, this Dharma practice, is also the best way to change the world, to improve the world.
Bodhisattva.
If I may say, one of the ways in which I was helped with that question before is that, compassion, the more unconditional you can make it, the less attachment you will gain.
Yeah.
Compassion is without conditions. If you can develop the bodhicitta without expectation, then the attachment doesn't grow so quickly, so easily.
That's true. And also it's much more effective because it's much more pure, and it's like the light of a lamp that it doesn't have any obstruction. But if the light of the lamp has some veil, something obstructing the light, it will not come very clear. So when we develop compassion, if it's mixed, that actually normally most of us, since we are beginners, is always mixed with desire, with ignorance, etc. So it's not completely pure. But as we are working little by little, day by day, and we are removing these kind of curtains or these obstructions, then the light comes much clearer and can do the work for others much better.
The kind of compassion that he spoke about for a person in a hospital, he goes and helps somebody and out of compassion he helps him. But I think that kind of an attachment coming from the compassion is not a wrong kind of attachment. I don't think that we should try to move away from it. There is nothing wrong with that.
No, well, actually,
I think it's not attachment, it's just caring, isn't it?
yeah, actually, we have to distinguish. When we say attachment, it's always when you want some benefit for you. Even if you go to the hospital and help one person, if you are have the hope of that the family will appreciate you, will say, oh, you are very good, next time I will help you whenever. If you have this kind of expectation, that is mixed with attachment. But if you have just the love, I think just the point he said that you go to the hospital and help this person, and then in your house you're thinking about this. There's no fault in this. I don't see any fault, anything wrong.
I think the point is differentiating between attachment to yourself and attachment to the result that you hope to see happen to the person that you're helping. I think that's probably good. That's a good attachment.
Yeah, sometimes it's not easy to.
So I think that's I suppose, that's a valid differentiator.
I have a question. This word bodhisattva. Who is a bodhisattva? Actually, how would you? Is a bodhisattva someone who has already attained Buddhahood and has gone beyond, or is on the path?
No, he's on the path of Buddhahood. Bodhisattva becomes one person when, in the first moment that he develops the wish of achieving enlightenment to benefit others, in this very moment he becomes a bodhisattva.
Anybody who is seeking.
Who is seeking enlightenment. And when he reaches the state of Buddha, is no more a bodhisattva, it's a Buddha.
He has gone beyond that. And
beyond that, yeah.
What about bodhicitta? How do you explain it?
Yeah, bodhicitta means the mind.
Chitta, consciousness.
Chitta is consciousness of mind. The mind which aspires to enlightenment. The wish to achieve enlightenment is called bodhicitta. And the person who has this wish in his mind is called a bodhisattva.
Bodhicitta is the mind or the consciousness.
Yeah, the mind.
Wanting to achieve enlightenment. Such a person is called a bodhisattva.
It's called a bodhisattva, yes.
And when the enlightenment is reached, it's called a Buddha.
It's called a Buddha.
He's gone beyond bodhisattva.
Yes. He still has the bodhicitta. It's called the Buddhas have the bodhicitta, but the bodhisattva is before reaching enlightenment.
So this word is very commonly used.
This
is good to know the correct definition of English.
Actually, normally in the teaching there are so many new words that since we are not familiarized, in the beginning it sounds strange and it sounds that you are not getting the point, but slowly, if you hear them a few times, then you start to understand.
And who is the Sakyamuni Buddha? He is separate than from Gautama Buddha?
No, it's the same.
Another form of one way of worshipping the same Gautama.
It's
just a labeling.
It's a different names of the same person.
Yeah. For example, the Tibetans, they have a medicinal Buddha.
Yeah, there are many other different Buddhas, but
they are Buddha different form of.
They are all considered emanations of Sakyamuni Buddha. Yeah, emanations to help the followers to develop certain different specific qualities. That we speak about the Buddha of compassion is an emanation of Buddha Sakyamuni to help to develop compassion. The Buddha of wisdom is also an emanation of Buddha Sakyamuni to help to develop wisdom. And the medicine Buddha also to help to develop the ability to help to cure sicknesses and to help others in the moment of death, etc.
Sir, I wish to know the meaning of Bodhi. Is it the name of tree I kind
Yeah, well, body, it refers, is the name of the tree, but also body means alignment.
And it is also called, I'm not right, of course, it is the name of the tree of Bodhgaya.
Yeah.
It is also the name of the tree, that people tree.
Yes, and it was called Bodhi because under this tree, Buddha Sakyamuni achieved alignment. So because of that, it was called the alignment tree. The Bodhi tree is called the Bodhi tree because under this tree, Buddha Sakyamuni, he achieved alignment.
And the Bodhisattva and the Bodhicitta, my friend,
Yeah.
please, the different, please.
Yeah, actually the meaning of the words, Bodhi means alignment, Sattva means being or person, it means the person who wishes to achieve alignment. These are Bodhisattva. Then Bodhicitta is the mind that this person has, the wish to achieve alignment. Bodhi means alignment and Citta means mind or consciousness. So the person who has the wish to achieve alignment, he's called a Bodhisattva. And this wish that he has in his mind is called bodhicitta. That's what we call bodhicitta.
In other words, all the followers of Buddha or who seek the knowledge of Buddha becomes bodhisattva.
Not necessarily, because it says that Buddha, but because Buddha, he showed many levels of the path. And he showed, we can divide all the teachings of Buddha in what we call the small vehicle and the great vehicle. The small vehicle is when someone is mainly concerned about achieving freedom from suffering for himself. And this is not called a bodhisattva. This we call an arhat, or arhat when he achieves the freedom is called an arhat. This is called the Hinayana path. And then the other path that Buddha teaches, the path that emphasizes the work for the benefit of others, to work to lead all sentient beings to enlightenment. And this is the path of the Bodhisattva. And whoever follows this path is called a Bodhisattva. And to be able to develop this mind, this path, we have to meditate on bodhicitta, is this mind that wishes to achieve alignment for the benefit of others.
Who is the Arahat?
Arhat means one who has achieved liberation. Arhat can be an Hinayana Arhat or Mahayana, like Buddha is an Arhat also. Arhat means the one who has achieved liberation from suffering. If he follows the small path, it's called a Hinayana Arhat.
What path?
The path looking wishing only for the liberation of himself. This is called an Hinayana Arhat. That there are two types, Saravaka and Pratyeka Buddha. And if he follows the Mahayana path, he achieved the Buddha, the state of Buddha, and it's called the Mahayana Arhat. A Buddha and Mahayana Arhat means the same.
I think questions. I have some information to.
इरादा है, अच्छा इरादा है। मैं बहुत अच्छा लड़का हूँ, and I can make you up for that.
I'm sure you can. फिलहाल घर जाके ठंडे पानी से नहा लीजिए. Bye.
But excuse me, please. अरे लॉन्ड्री का पता तो बताने जाइए. लड़की बना रहा था, कपड़े धोना था. आप ही हंस रही हो, मेरा रसोई तो टाइटैनिक की तरह डूब रहा है। सुबह 7 बजे प्यार नहीं होता।
नील, प्रीति हर संडे चर्च जाती है?
Every Sunday.
आइडिया। जिसका कोई नहीं होता उसका